Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos with 6 great days of racing starting on Friday, September 12th. The opening weekend feature is the E.B. Johnston Stakes, with past winners including the Chosen Vron and Kings River Knight. On Saturday, September 20th, we'll have the running of the Dark Mirage and also our on-track handicapping contest with 2 berths to the National Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. Daytime racing returns to Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, September 12th.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now, to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
And a good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program as we begin another week looking at the great sport of kings, Las Vegas style, right here from Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard and the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. We welcome all of those listening to us this morning via our anchor radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM 107.1 FM. And, of course, all of you that get to us through our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global. iPhone, Android, and Google phone are covered with the apps. Get your KSHP app on your device, and you can hear us through the radio station, YouTube app. You can hear and see us through the YouTube streaming. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. We welcome you to the Race Day Show for this beginning of another week looking at the great sport of kings, Las Vegas style. And we are in our transition week now. Del Mar is over. Last day was, of course, Labor Day Monday. And now we move ahead to the next racing circuit on the Southern California, and that is, of course, Los Alamitos Thoroughbred Meet. There'll be two big, good weekends for the Los Al Thoroughbred meet before then we switch over back to Santa Anita. And then, of course, before the Breeders' Cup, we switch back down to Del Mar. Follow that bouncing ball. We'll help you along the way on the shows, that's for sure. But coming up tomorrow will be the opening of Belmont at Aqueduct. We say Belmont at Aqueduct because now Saratoga, they moved back down to the city. This will be the final go-round for the Belmont at Aqueduct moniker. Final time that we'll be running the Belmont races, their racing days at Aqueduct, before the opening of the new and improved and gorgeous Belmont racetrack proper. And so that'll begin, of course, tomorrow. And Churchill Downs will open tomorrow as well. Now, Churchill Downs, of course, will pick up right where Kentucky Downs leaves off in Kentucky. Today is closing day at Kentucky Downs, and what a meet that has been, huh? Right? But we do have a big card at Kentucky Downs today, closing day there. And, of course, on Friday, Los Alamitos will begin their short meet of thoroughbred racing. Churchill Downs, by the way, is going to have a new bet, they say. That new bet is a $3 late pick 3. Base bet is a $3 late pick 3. It's going to have a 15% takeout. And, of course, we'll wait and see how that works there. Today, we have a couple of $100,000 stakes races at Horseshoe, Indianapolis on our racing menu. And looking ahead to this weekend, Churchill Downs will kick in right away with 5 stakes races, a grade 2 and 2 grade 3s. Belmont at Aqueduct will, of course, have a stakes race on Saturday. Colonial Downs will have 2. Laurel Racecourse is going to have 3 stakes races on Saturday. Monmouth, Los Al, and Gulfstream Park will have 1 each. The big racing center, though, the center of racing as far as the big races are concerned, is going to be north of the border at Woodbine. Woodbine's going to have 5 stakes races on Saturday, 3 of them grade 1s and a couple of grade 2s, and all 3 of the grade 1s are Breeders' Cup win-in-your-ins. And, of course, the big one of the day out of those Breeders' Cup win-in-ins and the grade 1s will be the Woodbine Mile. It'll be $1 million purse in the Woodbine Mile. And believe it or not, the Woodbine Mile has a strong history of performers in that race going to the Breeders' Cup and running well and winning a lot of Breeders' Cup miles in the past. So we'll wait and see about that. That'll be good stuff there. All righty. By the way, Kentucky, the Churchill Downs has released their Kentucky Derby qualifying races now. Here's how it goes. This is the schedule now. There'll be 36 races, starting with Saturday's Iroquois for 2-year-olds at Churchill Downs. You know, they turn 3-year-olds after the first of the year. So the first of the Kentucky Derby point getters for next year's Derby will be Saturday's Iroquois. It's a grade 3 for 2-year-olds. One of the 5 stakes races this weekend at Churchill Downs, okay? So it'll start out with the Saturday's Iroquois. There'll be 21 races between September 13th and February 21st that range from the 10 to 20 point range for the Kentucky Derby leaderboard. After that, there'll be 15 stakes races, and 7 of which will have 100 points, and the others will have 50 points. There'll be 7 with 50 points, 7 with 100 points out of the 15. The one that will be left, of course, will be that last race with Kentucky Derby points, and that's the Lexington that'll be held on April the 11th. So that's how it's going to work out. We're going to have the normal, 100-pointers. And that, not so much a controversy, but the consideration for the Santa Anita Derby last year. Remember when there was a short field of 5, and so that was a 100-point Kentucky Derby race, but because there was less than 6 horses in the race, they cut it down to only 75 points. And so in the 100-point races, if you have 5 or less now, in those 100-point races, then the max is going to be 75 points awarded. They're not going to change anything, but it'll be 75 points, 5 or less. Okay? As far as the non-American races, you've got the Euro and Mid-East races. There'll be 7 of those. and two of them, of course, of the 7 races that will have Kentucky Derby points on the non-American races in Europe and in the Middle East, there will be only 2 spots that will be awarded off of those 7 races with those points. And the big one with 100 points, of course, will be the UAE Derby, and that'll happen on the day with the big Dubai World Cup. Japan has 4, and out of the 4 races in Japan, there'll be 1 spot for the Kentucky Derby. So they're trying to branch it out now a little bit more to make it to kind of look like the Breeders' Cup. Everybody trying to get into the Kentucky Derby. But those are the Kentucky Derby points, and of course, we'll keep you posted on what's going on with the Kentucky Derby points. And the Kentucky Oaks also has 33 races with points for the Kentucky Oaks as well. And that one, starting on Saturday, will be the Pocahontas Stakes. So the Pocahontas Stakes this weekend and the Iroquois on Saturday, both on Saturday at Churchill Downs for the 2-year-olds, will be the first ones that will yield Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks points for next year's Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks. Keep following that bouncing ball, okay? But that's the way it's going to work there. All right. They had the Prince of Wales Stakes yesterday. It was the middle jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown, and the first Canadian Triple Crown winner was Massetti. Massetti was favored to win the second jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown, but he was beaten by Runaway Again with Ryan Munger aboard for Sid Attard, paid $18.50, and spoiled a Triple Crown bid for the Canadian Triple Crown by Mancetti. Mancetti finished second. Faber was third in the race. Sid Attard trained the winner, and Kevin Attard trained the second and third place finishers in the Prince of Wales Stakes, the second jewel of the Canadian Triple Crown. That happened yesterday at the Fort Erie racetrack. All right. Trainer George Papapadromo got a 7-day suspension for a drug violation by HIWA exactly. And the rule violation was imposed. Now, it was supposed to be 15 days, but they knocked down to 7 days for Papapadromo. And that began yesterday. And it's involving a horse called Sneaker, who won the Franz Valentine and failed the drug test. So they redistributed the purse money in the Franz Valentine, and Papadromo will take 7 days on the bench there. Boy, I'm telling you, they're spending money at Keeneland like nobody's business. The Keeneland September sales, 2 horses bred by Gunrunner took big money. $3.3 million and $2.2 million. 2 horses bred by Gunrunner out of the sale there, the September sale, and 1 by Flightline, who also garnered $2.2 million. So that's pretty good there. The Gunrunners and the Flightline really took a lot of big bucks. They are setting records as far as the bidding and selling going on at that September sale at Keeneland that had the couple of days sale there. All right, we wrap up Del Mar. They concluded their 86th summer season with increase in wagering attendance and field sizes. So says the press release from Del Mar. The Daily Racing Form has it where they actually had a decrease. I don't know who's right, but whatever the case may be, the total wagering of the meet at Del Mar reached $535.15 million. That was an increase for the wagering for the meet of 6.7% from last summer. Average daily handle rose 17 to 17.26 million, up from 16.8 million. The average of 8.7 starters per race was up from 8.6 starters. And so we'll wait and see about that. Anyhow, they had a pretty good meet there at Del Mar. As far as the jockey trainer standings are concerned, no big deal here. Juan Hernandez and Bob Baffert repeated their summer meet leads. They have successfully defended their titles for the standings in the 2024 summer meet. Juan Hernandez, of course, is Baffert's first call rider, and that benefited Hernandez on the jockey title. He won 18 of his races for Bob Baffert. And this is Hernandez's fourth straight summer meet win. Juan Hernandez winds up with winning it with 45 victories out of 169 starts. Antonio Fresu finished second with 37 wins, and Hector Barrios third with 26. Humberto Rispoli and Kazuchi Kimura tied for fourth with 23. As far as the trainers were concerned, Bob Baffert won 24 races out of 80 starts to get the win. Mark Glatt and Peter Miller tied for second at 18, and Phil D'Amato finished fourth with 17, John Sadler with 16. And as far as the horse of the meet, the horse of the meeting was the Pacific Classic champion Fierceness. He garnered the votes for the horse of the meet for Del Mar. The top grass horse was Formidable Man. Top older horse, of course, would be Fierceness. The older filly and mare, Seismic Beauty. The sprinter, Lovesick Blues. And the top 3-year-old was the Padre, who won the Del Mar Derby. And, of course, the top 2-year-old was Brant, the Bob Baffert trainee Brant. And that was the Del Mar finals there. And as far as the top buyers for the weekend, top buyer stakes horses for the weekend, Epic Ride and winning the Mint Million out at Kentucky Downs got 100 buyer. Old Crazy Bone, the Kentucky Turf Cup winner at Kentucky Downs, got a 101. Splendora and garnering the Tranquility Lake at Del Mar got 100. And the top buyer overall over the weekend in stakes races was Post Time, who won the Polynesian Stakes and got 103 buyer there. All righty. So we've covered much of the news that you need to know. On today's show, we got Jonathan Hardoon, Dwayne Colucci. It's Wednesday, so we got Dwayne Colucci's report from the Rampart. Rich Eng will be along with us, John Lindo and Jerry J as well. And, of course, we will probably have a thought or two from Rich Eng about that crazy, crazy NFL game on Sunday night where the Bills beat the Ravens in a miraculous comeback. In any case, we're going to do that and, of course, look ahead to this weekend, et cetera, and have some Kentucky Down picks for you as well. John Lindo, of course, and Jerry J will be along with us with some of their thoughts. All of that, plus your racing menu still ahead. So we'll take our first break on this first day of the week of the new race day shows, watching the horses working out in the mornings at the racetracks for the afternoon performances. And, of course, if you're with us on the YouTube streaming network, visit us in the chat box. They're chatting away, and all you have to do, if you haven't already subscribed, do it. It's free. And once you subscribe, you can get in the chat box and start chatting. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The Southern California Thoroughbred Racing Circuit is back at Los Alamitos with 6 great days of racing starting on Friday, September 12th. The opening weekend feature is the E.B. Johnston Stakes, with past winners including the Chosen Vron and Kings River Knight. On Saturday, September 20th, we'll have the running of the Dark Mirage and also our on-track handicapping contest with 2 berths to the National Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas. Daytime racing returns to Los Alamitos. Opening day is Friday, September 12th.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Weather, we are leaving the 100-plus degree temperatures in Las Vegas behind. We are now broaching into the fall weather here in Las Vegas. It's going to be, right now it's at 76 degrees outside. Beautiful outside right now. We're going to get up to 96, and that's it. No 100-degree forecast in the future here in Las Vegas, in case you're planning on joining us anytime during this week. It'll be in the 90s, but no more hundreds, at least for now, here in Las Vegas. As far as the rest of the country is concerned, it's cooling off as well. Miami, 87 with the possibility of a little rain there. New York, 74 with the possibility of a little rain there, but no racing in New York today. Chicago, 82 and sunny and beautiful there. You got Los Angeles, 80 degrees with a little bit of overcast there. Of course, the racing in SoCal returns on Friday. And as far as the hot spot in the nation, Phoenix, Arizona is still getting into the hundreds. Phoenix, Arizona is going to be 107 today. And, of course, as I say here, at 96 degrees. And as far as precipitation around the country, no meaningful precipitation anywhere at the racetracks that are running today. Okay? Let's get started with your racing menu. Reminding you, as we always do, the first post times on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas, these will be the first post times that roll out in our racebook here today. It's at the South Point. If you are in another time zone, anywhere around the world, adjust from your time zone to the Pacific time zone. Tweak it out so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? We begin with Colonial Downs. Colonial Downs has a first post time of for their 8 races at 9:30 today, mostly turf racing there, but you know the deal. Colonial Downs' first post time is at 9:30. Okay, then we have Belterra Park. Belterra Park has 8 races. Their first post time is 9:35. Parks Racing has 9 races today. Their Pick 5 jackpot carryover stands at $151,536. I'll correct that. $141,820 is the Pick 5 jackpot. $141,820 in the Pick 5 jackpot carryover at Parks Racing today, okay? And they have 9 races. First post time is at 9:40. Delaware Park is next. Delaware Park has a Pick 5 carryover today, a regular Pick 5 carryover. That stands at $14,767. 7 races today at Delaware Park. First post time 9:45. Finger Lakes, now the only upstate New York racetrack in biz. Finger Lakes has 8 races, and they have a Pick 5 carryover as well. Just a regular Pick 5, not a jackpot. $17,050 in their Pick 5 carryover at Finger Lakes. First post time is 10 a.m. for their 8-race card. And then we'll wrap it up today in Kentucky with the Kentucky Downs final card. Mandatory payoffs. Everything goes out the door at Kentucky Downs today. No carryovers, but everything leaves today as far as the pari-mutuel is concerned. They have 11 races today in the full fields again with those big purses. The feature race will be the $2 million Dueling Grounds Oaks Invitational for 3-year-old fillies at 1 mile and 5/16. 12 are entered in the race before any scratches, and Fionin is the 2-1 favorite there with Flavian Pratt aboard. 11 races on this closing day at Kentucky Downs and a first post time of 10:20. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 9 races. The final race will be a quarter horse race. The first 8 will be thoroughbreds, and there's a couple of $100,000 thoroughbred stakes races. The Hoosier Heartland will be the 7th on the card at 1 mile and 16th for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. A full field, overflow field of 13 there. A favorite at 5-2 is Imagine the Moon. And then the $100,000 Empire Stakes at 1 mile and 16th for 3-year-olds and up is the 8th race on the card. 14 are entered in that as well. And the 3-1 favorite in that one is Hoosier Daddy Now. First post time at Hoosier Indianapolis for their 9 races is set at Hoosier Indianapolis is set at let's see. There is a 11:10. Okay, we'll do that at 11:10. There's a typo on this thing. Didn't think it was going that way. Okay, it's 11:10. Hoosier Indianapolis. Presque Isle Downs has 8 races. Presque Isle Downs' first post time is also at 12:30. 12:30 at Presque Isle Downs. Louisiana Downs has 7 races today. Louisiana Downs' first post time is at 2:05. 2:05 at Louisiana Downs. Penn National has 8 races. Penn National has a super high five jackpot carryover, $18,914. First post time at Penn National for 8 races, $245, and then we wrap it up with Canterbury Downs, or Canterbury Park, I should say. It used to be Canterbury Downs. Canterbury Park, 8 races. First post time is at 3:10 today. That's your racing menu for today. And now we'll go out to Jonathan Hardoon, who we hope got a lot of rest over the 2 days off. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine. A little bit rested up after the crazy weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Saratoga quieting down. Everybody kind of left town. I drove past the track this morning. No horses left, so it's all quiet, and we wait.
It was an interesting closing day at Del Mar. Peter Urton and Juan Hernandez connected in the third race at 7:20. Then we had that Del Mar Futurity. Brandt wins it. Okay, Brandt wins the race for Flavien Prat and Bob Baffert. Bob Baffert finishes first and second. Desert Gate finished second. Civil Liberty was third. That was Baffert's 19th Futurity win there. And Brandt got a Beyer speed figure of 91 in the race. Fractions 21.4, 44.4. And he came home in a time of 1:21 and 4/5 seconds for the 7 furlongs. Pretty solid effort by Brandt.
Yeah, and pretty solid effort by the runner-up, Ralph. He stumbled at the start, and he was running late. I don't know how far Brandt wants to go, and he has a funny way of going. People that know what they're looking at say that he's got funny action. I mean, I don't know. But the horse that ran second ran very, very well. And then he unveiled another first-time starter later in the card that may be better than them all.
That first-time starter was in the 6th race. Tyler Gaffleone rode the horse. Boyd was the name of that horse. Went gate to wire. Baffert, second win of the day, paying $420. And that horse got a 92 Beyer in winning that maiden race there. So you're right. Baffert, 36% with 2-year-old first-time starters at Del Mar.
Yeah, well, listen, he's got them over a barrel. He's got more 2-year-olds than anyone else. He's got more expensive 2-year-olds than anyone else. But without him, where would Southern California really be? So they owe him a debt of gratitude, to say the least.
Well, and there's a lot of high-priced horses that go through the sales ring, as I was just talking about earlier with Keeneland's September sale. But unless you have a trainer that knows what to do with the raw talent that they get, it could be an expensive horse that never achieves his potential because the trainer doesn't know what he's doing. So Baffert, Baffert's good at that too. Not only does he get the product, but he knows what to do with the product.
Well, obviously, people wouldn't be giving him horses that they spend millions and millions of dollars on without success, for the most part. And you're right, the Keeneland sales, they've gone crazy there. They're spending money like nothing matters. And between Rapoli and John Stewart, who owns Resolute Stable, they just, they don't like each other to begin with. And I think they run up the prices when they're bidding against each other, to tell you the truth.
Oh, we got egos involved there, do we?
I think so, slightly.
And what about Hector Barrios? He continues to ride well on the turf. He had 2 wins at Del Mar. He won with a 2-year-old for John Sadler in the 5th race at 8:40 on the turf. And then he comes back in the Del Mar Juvenile turf in the 9th race at a mile on the turf for 2-year-olds with Hey Nay Nay winning, and for John Sadler again. So they had 2 wins on the turf together, $4 even there, outrunning Plutarch and Proletariat, who finished 3rd in the race. Richard Baltus had a couple of wins on closing day. Peter Miller checked in with a couple of wins on closing day. So it was a heck of a closing day on Sunday at Del Mar. And the pick 6, of course, it was mandatory, but 6 out of 6 paid a little bit less than $8,400, $8,391 and change.
No one has ever made a bigger career move than Hector Barrios, moving from Florida, where he rode for years, Ralph, and he just never got the chance or the opportunity. And he moved to California, and boy, just totally reborn. And on the turf, there's really not many riders that are better.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, that he was like a just a jockey named on
regular guy.
just a jockey named on a horse at Gulfstream, but nothing exceptional about it. Then he gets to Southern California and he owns the turf course.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, he was riding for years on grass in Florida. That's the same grass, I guess, that they have in Southern California, but he's just a totally different rider in Southern California than anywhere else.
All right, well, we wrap up Kentucky Downs today, and on Sunday, Brad Cox had a couple of wins on the card, and Bill Mott had a couple of wins as well. And the feature races there, the Juvenile Mile at a mile, and the winner there was Street Beast, Luan Machado for Ben Colbrick, paying $4.08. And this, again, was one of those things that you were talking about. This horse, now this 2-year-old, won at Kentucky Downs and came back in 10 days and then came back and won this Juvenile Mile. $4.08 for Ben Colbrick, outrunning Awesome Connection and Baytown Dreamer. And then the Untappable for the 2-year-old fillies at 6.5 furlongs for another $1 million there. Quiet Street wins for Alvarado and Mott. That was Junior Alvarado and Bill Mott's second win of the day together, paying $6.64 for their main owner, Godolphin, outrunning Snowface Princess and Believe in Magic. So that was what happened on Sunday at Kentucky Downs.
And today is it, Ralph. It's closing day. Like you say, everything goes out the door. By the way, interesting news. I hear Irad Ortiz will be moving his tack to Kentucky to ride with his brother. So
yeah.
A lot of people in New York, I guess, kind of happy.
Yeah, I'll bet you. I'll bet you Kendrick Carmouche and Cancel. Yeah, those guys are real happy. They'll probably chip in and make sure they get them on the plane and out of town.
They will drive them to the airport.
It is amazing, though, that, Jose... he left New York and he started really his success in Louisiana Downs in the wintertime.
Fairground.
Yeah.
The fairground.
I'm sorry. In Louisiana at the fairgrounds, at the fairgrounds, right. Louisiana. And he started his success there. And then he moved to Kentucky. And I guess Irad said, hey, bro, you're making more money than I am now. So I'm going to Kentucky. And it may very well be that, Irad wrote a lot for Chad Brown and for Todd Pletcher in New York. But Todd Pletcher's leaning on Kendrick Carmouche a little bit more now. And, of course, you've got Flavian Pratt riding for Chad Brown and for Brad Cox, almost a first call for those guys. So maybe Ira thought, hey, Flavian's taking some of my mounts away. I'm going where Bro is and starting making some money in Kentucky. But that's going to be interesting. So Irad's going to go to Churchill Downs then?
That's what they're saying. And it's going to be interesting to see if Flavian Pratt spends the winter at Santa Anita. I think he did the last couple of years, right?
Yes, I think he did too. And anyhow, we have immediate stuff like today's closing day at Kentucky Downs. What are you going to do for me?
All right, Ralph, let's look at the 9th race today. And this is another terrific race. I like the number 8 horse in here, Green Light. This is a 4-year-old colt from the Rudolph Brissett barn. Brissett is 2 for 4 at the meet. The interesting thing about this horse is he makes his third start back off of a layoff. Draw a line through his last race. He ran without Lasix. He goes back on Lasix today, where he's had a lot of success. Jose Ortiz has ridden this horse in 2 of his 3 lifetime wins. 8-1 on the morning line. I like number 8, Green Light, to win today's 9th race at Kentucky Downs.
Well, you know what we hope. We hope it's a green light to a win. So in the 9th race, number 8, Green Light, 8-1 on the morning line with Jose Ortiz. By the way, brother Irad is riding there at Kentucky Downs with his bro today. But in the 9th race, you like Jose on number 8, Green Light, the 8 in the 9th race. Don't forget, he's got a full sheet at Kentucky Downs right now, don't you, Jonathan?
JONHARDOON. Tomorrow, Belmont at Aqueduct, and Churchill Downs opens tomorrow.
You got it, my man. That's for sure.
Thank you.
And
Stay
of course,
safe
and of course, we'll have Los Alamitos on Friday. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Thank you, Ralphie.
All right. We'll be right back with Rich Eng, and then, of course, Dwayne Calucci, and thoughts from John Lendo and Jerry Jackers. A lot to get to, so don't go away.
Thank you, buddy. There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Let's quickly go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
I don't know where you were at on Sunday night, but that game, you must have fell off your seat.
Yeah, you talk about a game that had twists and turns. And I think the most ironic part of the game was the score in the fourth quarter was 40-25 Baltimore. And Mike Tirico was talking about the fact that people were leaving in droves in the stands at the Buffalo Stadium. And there was about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. But I tell you what, when you got a quarterback like Josh Allen, you are never out of a football game. And that was a miraculous comeback to win.
Well, I tell you, I'll confess right now, I was at dinner in a place where you could see the TV set. You know, we went to dinner at a place where you can see the TV. And after dinner, we, sat around and talked for a while. And since I get up at 4 in the morning, and that was Sunday, so the days when I do a show, I said, I'm getting kind of tired, and this game's getting way out of hand now. I'm going to just go home, and I'll watch, I'll just check the score when I get home. So I get in the car. I didn't even listen to the game on the car. I started listening to music, got home, got settled in and all that. And I went to check my phone to see what the final score was, and it was 58 seconds left in the game. And the Bills were just 2 points behind. And I said, what the heck went on? And I turned on the TV just in time to watch the last drive and the play that the Bills won. So NFL never leave until the fat lady wasn't singing. And if she was, they put her back in the box in that one. That's for sure. Enough said about that. We've got a lot to cover. And, of course, we'll have an NFL pick from you tomorrow for the Thursday night game. But right now we need to pick at Kentucky Downs, my man.
Yeah, post-game, one of the key quotes I heard a guy say was, football is not 56 minutes. It's a 60-minute game, and you play all 60 minutes, and I was never sure. As far as
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just going to go to my pick, but you were going to say something?
I was just going to say that, with professional teams like that, and we know that the Ravens are a great team, this beat that they got in Buffalo might stick around in their back of their minds for a long time throughout the season. We'll wait and see about that. Kentucky Downs pick.
Race 7. It's a mile on the turf, maiden special weight. Let's go with the ultimate closer, Flavion Pratt, on number 4, full effort. This is a Brad Cox horse that has been well bet and just beaten twice. Finished well, didn't get up. Flavion Pratt's the money man for Brad Cox. 4, full effort in the 7th.
All right, 7th race on closing day. Kentucky Downs, 7th race, full effort. We hope he does that. Flavion Pratt aboard. We know he'll do that. And in the 7th race, you like the 4. The 4 is your play in the 7th at Kentucky Downs. Do you have a sheet today?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sheet for closing day. It's been a good meet for us, and look forward to some winners today.
All right, and that's at the racedaylasvegas.com website. Thanks a lot, Richie.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Good luck, everybody.
Let's go to the Rampart, where Mr. Dwayne Colucci is standing by. Dwayne, I'll bet you your place went nuts Sunday night.
Unbelievable crowd there, Ralph. I'll tell you, those last 2 games were very exciting on the NFL card. And, during Sunday, you had to feel that a lot of the teams weren't prepared. But I tell you, that Buffalo-Baltimore game was one of the best games I've seen in many years.
Yeah.
And what a great comeback and a testament to Josh Allen. He's just a phenomenal quarterback. And, they're going to be very difficult. I think those are the two best teams in the AFC moving forward.
All I can say is that that's an automatic classic. Last Sunday night became an automatic classic. Well, we got racing at Kentucky Downs today, and we're doing a little transition. We're going from Kentucky Downs to Churchill. We're going from, Del Mar to Los Alamitos, and Belmont at Aqueduct will start up this week. So we got we got the transition going on, and of course you got all that action there at the Rampart, and I know you got football specials there as well, Dwayne.
Yeah, definitely, Ralph. We're giving away $500 in cash weekly. It's just unmatched in town. All you have to do is swipe your rewards card, be a Rampart Rewards member, bet on football. Every $1 gets you an entry. So it's going to be a very exciting season. We do that each and every week throughout the regular season. Second place, $300 in free slot play, and third place is $100 in free slot play. So a lot going on at the Rampart, and of course the horse racing will be prominent leading up to the Breeders' Cup. Like you said, looking forward to Churchill Downs definitely tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Kentucky Downs was fabulous. A great meet at Del Mar. I couldn't ask for more. And I can't thank my patrons enough. I mean, they've been packing the house. And now with the football, it's very tough. Get there early to get a seat. I always tell everybody, including Jeff Parles on Sports by the Book, get there early. And Jeff loves to come down and join us, Ralph. And hopefully we'll see you one day, too.
Oh, yeah. I don't get out to that part of town too often. But when I do, that's a stop I make. Because if you're in that part of town, in the Summerlin area, and you don't stop at the Rampart, that'll be your first bad beat of the day. That's for sure. And talking about promotions, the Monday night promotion here, the Monday night game in the showroom here at the South Point, they give away $1,000, $250 per quarter for the Monday night game, and all you got to do is show up and enjoy the game in the showroom with, of course, special beverage prices for the game as well. Hey, I know you got a thought or two about Kentucky Downs today.
Yeah, Kentucky Downs has a super card, and, I'm going against the grain today. Mr. Brian Lynch hasn't had a winner, so I'm looking for him to get on the scoreboard in the 7th race. I'm going against Richie's pick, but I respect Mr. Eng's pick. He looks very good and the horse to beat, but I'm going with Epic Horsepower, the 10-horse, Brian Lynch. He's using Nick Juarez again, bringing him right back. He just missed in his maiden debut. I think this horse will be coming, he'll be sitting close, which you have to do, I believe, at this current meet at Kentucky Downs. Mm-hmm. And he'll have a lot of firepower in the stretch. And let's make a little double with Pancake House in race 8. I remember that race where he won for Mr. Sharp, who's been unbelievable. Joe Sharp has been on an incredible streak right now. And I know anybody who's paying attention to horse racing knows that. Yeah. And he's going to pay a little price in the 8th race. So I'm going to double it up. We're going to bet Epic Horsepower as our key play today in the 7th. And then we're going to use Pancake House with Jose Ortiz and Sharp in race 8. That was a great run at Saratoga, and he lit up with the Win Mutual that day. I think he paid like $23. So those are my two selections today, my two picks. Let's make some money, Ralph.
Well, all I got to say, Dwayne, is you gave me a Siraco play exacta in the 7th race and the Siraco play double in the 8th race. So in the 7th race, you like the 10. We're going to use that in exacta box with Richie source the 4, so it's going to be the 4, 10, 10, 4 exacta box in the 7th. And the double is going to be the 10, 9 double, beginning in the 7th race with the 10 and the 8th race with the 9. And Dwayne, let's make some money, but man, and of course, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Ralph. Always appreciate you having me on the best show for horse racing in the world.
Oh, well, thank you very much, my man. Check's in the mail. Thanks a lot. We're going to take a final break. I gotta, kind of gather myself again after that compliment. In any case, we will be back with John Lendo's thoughts, and Jerry Jackowitz might show up too, so don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
You get value with the home team.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Lean into the favorite. I do like the over.
You talk about two-way action, over 3 touchdowns.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas to wrap up this Wednesday show as we roll into another week covering the great sport of kings. And from Southern California, we go to John Lendo standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I kind of questioned a little bit about Del Mar and the reports of how the meet went, because the Del Mar press release that I got said that the total wagering for the meet was an increase of 6.7% from last summer's average daily handle. But yet in the Daily Racing Form, their column says that the Del Mar showed a slight decline in all source handle in theirs, a decrease of 1.4%. So I don't get it.
Two ways to measure the wagering, Ralph. The report from Del Mar included all wagering on all races from all tracks, including the dark days and days when Del Mar did not run anything. The other report by Steve Anderson at Daily Racing Form was just strictly on races at Del Mar. So the handle at Del Mar on the Del Mar races only was down just over 1%, and that can probably be attributed to shutting off those CAW wagers at 2 minutes to post. That cost them some money. Overall, the handle numbers were good. So it just goes to show you how big an impact those CAW wagering groups do have on the total handle at a racetrack.
I see. So in other words, if you're in the facility of Del Mar and you use their betting system at Del Mar, whether it be on the live races at Del Mar and also any of the simulcast races that come into Del Mar, that's what Del Mar based its handle on, right?
Right. Total handle through the windows, whether it be Saratoga, Kentucky Downs, or anything else.
And so when the Daily Racing Form says slight decline in all sources handle, it only means all sources handle on the Del Mar races proper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the distinction.
All right. Kentucky Downs closes today, but what a day closing day was at Del Mar. Bob Baffert unleashed a couple of really nice 2-year-olds. Brandt wins, but everybody thinks, and I believe I'll have to agree with them, with the trip that Desert Gate had. Maybe Desert Gate was the best in the race, but there certainly was no doubt about Boyd, who won the 6th race, that maiden race, and got a 92 buyer.
Yeah, Boyd had not shown that kind of speed in the morning. When he broke and made the lead, I said, holy cow, look at this. And he was fast all the way around, and Tyler Gaffalione never had to get out of first gear. I don't know how far Boyd is going to run, but as far as he goes, he's going to get there in a hurry. And you're right about Desert Gate. He showed a couple things. He had gone wire to wire in his previous starts, and he went to his knees at the start, ate a lot of dirt behind horses, and still rallied, split horses and came running. He learned a lot out of that race. He ran a really good one. So, as usual, Bob Baffert loaded. He doesn't have 1 or 2 good shots. He's got 5 or 6 that could go forward in whether it be the 2-year-old, the 2-turn race, the front runner at Santa Anita going on to the Breeders' Cup.
Well, I know that the Baffert and Juan Hernandez team provided the tops in the meet leaders in both the jockey and trainer category, and Hernandez can thank Baffert a lot for that win, because 18 of his 45 wins at Del Mar were all for trainer Bob Baffert, and Antonio Fresu, who had an unbelievable amount of second place finishes versus his first place finishes, finished second with 37. So if you kind of flip that around, it would have been a heck of a jockey race there at Del Mar.
But both guys had really good meets. Fresu just got in a little bit of a funk there. About the third week, he had a bunch of seconds, and he was first and second over 80 races. So that's some pretty good work by agent Tom Knutz, putting him on live horses throughout the meet.
Not even a question about that. We know that Peter Miller always points for Del Mar. He had finished in a tie for third finished for a tie for second at 18 total wins with Mark Glatt. But again, Baffert winning all those races with the 2-year-olds had 24 out of 80 starts. Good meet for Baffert as well. And of course, Fierceness, I guess, did deserve horse of the meeting. John, we're looking ahead to Los Alamitos on Friday.
Right, we drew entries yesterday for Friday, so we'll draw today for Saturday. They 1 o'clock first post time. They have 8 races on Friday. It'll be a 1 o'clock first post every day at Los Al. And we'll obviously do the 6 days, 3 this week and 3 next week for the Linda report. And I'll do that late pick 5 or the late pick 6, depending on where all the stakes races are at Churchill Downs the next couple of weeks as well.
All right, you got it. Thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, good luck today, Ralph.
All right, you got it. We're going to Jerry Jackowitz and have a late thought by Jerry. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Ralph. A thought?
Yes, anything you want to talk about. It's your stage.
Well, the thing I would say about the Del Mar meet was that it was a good place for random long shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did a pretty good job of finding a few of them.
You did with the V horses. You did, yeah.
But it's not my favorite environment for betting horses personally.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to have a track back. Well, there was a track back in New York for the trotters named Yonkers. I don't know how many people out there would know about it.
Yeah.
Yonkers was known as a $4 and $40 track. In other words, you get a lot of $4 horses and $40 horses. Very few people could actually figure out when the $40 horses were coming in.
Yeah.
Me included. So my point is it's a tough environment, but you have, we all want to extol the virtues of it, but we have all of these races. And this is one thing where the power page actually is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see poorly rated horses on the power page, bet down to 2 to 1, and then you kind of know they're live.
Mm-hmm.
And they run those sort of like what I call slow horses that get bet down. I'm not saying they're slow all their whole career, but they're slow looking from the power page point of view that do run. And they're definitely money, and you have to use them at the very least. Use them in your exotics,
mm-hmm.
or sometimes bet off of them. It's not my favorite way to play horses, but it is the lay of the land. And
okay,
maybe a lot of people like that sort of thing where they use the board indicator. I don't, but I can see where other people might like that.
Yeah, I think there's 2 things that come into play at Del Mar, as far as I'm concerned, outside of the basic handicapping, and that is the environment there. People get away on vacation and they perk up too. I think the horses, when they get down there, some of them may really like the environment. And secondly, all of the ship and win horses that were in there added another dimension to the handicapping. So it was a very interesting Del Mar.
And that's you're absolutely right. That is, and it's. I don't know if I was a California owner, if I'd actually appreciate that as much as maybe some of the handicappers might appreciate it. But.
Okay. Well, that was a thought or two, and thank you for that. And we know we have one more thought coming from you before we end the show, and we're going to do it and remind everybody that we'll be here tomorrow. Go ahead, Jerry.
Have a great